Hey, Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline. And fans, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you another review of The Walking Dead. That's right, fans. This is Season 5, Episode 4, otherwise known as Slabtown. And this couldn't have been a better episode to have a character development type of episode, which was Bethany. Yes, this episode features Bethany, the character that we really don't know all that much about. And I think that The Walking Dead shines the most when it does these character development type of episodes. And again, it couldn't have been better than Bethany. And it really shows you how strong of a character that Bethany has become since the days that she was on the farm with Herschel and Maggie and she went to go commit suicide, where she was just this whiny little character. And I love when The Walking Dead does this, where you go see the conception of this character and to where she becomes today. And in this episode, she really shines through. And it starts off with her waking up in this hospital bed. We've all been waiting all this time to find out what has happened to her. I thought Gabriel, the priest, was the one that actually kidnapped her. Well, we find out it's these people that run this crazy hospital in Atlanta. And Bethany wakes up in this hospital bed and she looks out the window and she sees the all of Atlanta just destroyed and zombies all over the place, and it's just like it's a jaw dropper situation for her because again she's this small town girl and she's only seen the zombies through the woods and things like that, and she actually experiences it for the first time as this like worldwide event. And we get to see how sick and twisted this hospital really is. Everyone has their own ways of leading, and you know like we've seen like the governor, and we've seen Gareth, and we've seen Rick as well. And you know, and Bethany sees how this hospital is ran, and it's ran by this police officer by Don, and she feels like when you rescue somebody or whatever it is, you owe them and you pay your debt to them, because if you're not doing your job in this hospital and you're out there in the zombie world, you're absolutely nothing. You mean nothing to this world. And she looks at it as that perspective. And it's just crazy because it's like Dawn tries to focus on this structure and order in this hospital, and she allows her fellow peers to get away with certain things. Like she has other officers raping other girls, and you saw one officer trying to take advantage of Beth, and by putting lollipops in her mouth and things like that. And then Beth gets back at this cop and winds up shattering a jar of lollipops on his head, and the zombie winds up eating her. But you get to see how sick and twisted this hospital really is, on how they treat their patients. Once they die, they throw them down this elevator shaft and zombies eat them. And it's crazy to see how Bethany works with an orderly in this actual hospital to try to escape. And it was interesting on how strong she really is and how weak she is not, because a lot of watchers of this TV show probably feel that she's a weak character. Where is she going with the group? And this episode really proves that she is not that weak character. You get to see her escape from the hospital. She takes a gun. She winds up shooting zombies. Just all kinds of things happened in this episode that shows her that she can hold her own in this series. And at the end of the episode, we wind up seeing her get recaught by the police. We see Dawn give her this type of lecture, saying again that you're nobody if you're out there in the woods and out in the open and things like that. And it was a really interesting episode. I really enjoyed it. I loved the fact that it focused on Bethany, because we get to see how far she's come from that little girl in the actual farm until now. And I love the ending of this episode, where you get to see Carol actually get dragged into the hospital by the police. Now, is she playing possum, or did something actually happen to her? Because if you remember in the last episode, you get to see Daryl, who comes through and he goes, "Come on out," but you never knew who it was. You never know if it is Bethany and they're just showing you this flashback episode or not. But it's basically, you get to find out now that Carol's in this hospital, and you're going to see if she was rescued or not, and see how they possibly get out of this hospital. So I thought this was an amazing episode. Again, I love when The Walking Dead does these individual type of character development episodes, because this is how the series really shines. Like in the comic, that's why I like the comic so much, because it really gets you involved with the characters and it gets you attached to the characters. Really, also, one more thing that I wanted to say here was that when you are with the group, it really makes you feel that once you're with the group that you're originally with and you trust a group, it's like you don't want to really go to another group because everyone's all shady and different on who you're with. Like Rick's group is used to being around Rick's group. All the people are used to working with Rick. And other people may see things as immoral the way Rick does his stuff. But when you go with Garrett's group, and you go back to that situation with the whole, Hannibals and them eating other people, well, to Garrett's group, it's pretty much how they're used to things running around there. And with the hospital, that's used to, that's the way they're used to things running. Even though it may seem immoral, it's just weird how it's just like when you're in your initial clique, you don't really want to go with somebody else because that other person seems sketchy and untrustworthy. So really wild now, because at this point in this zombie apocalypse thing, it's like if you're in a group, stay in that group. Don't go with anybody else. But sometimes I guess you got to do what you got to do to survive. But I just wanted to touch on that subject. But again, this episode, really fun, guys. I really loved how it shined with Bethany, and you guys tell me in the comments below what you thought of episode number 4 of The Walking Dead, and what was your favorite part of this episode. I thought my favorite part was when Bethany slaps the cop's head with the freaking lollipop jar, and he sits there and falls on the ground, and a zombie comes and starts eating him. I thought that was awesome. So great episode here, guys. One of my favorite of the season so far. Again, guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. Just me rambling on now because I love the show. And thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.